All right. Losira against PartinG. If Losira wins this, he's out of control, man.
Yeah, and okay, what do you think is going to happen? Who wins?
Actually, to be honest, I think PartinG wins 2-0. Can I be totally honest with you? I just think PartinG wins 2-0. But
I think this is, and PartinG is one of my favorite players, but I think Losira is going to take this 2-1.
Wow.
He looks better to me than PartinG today.
All right, let's do this, guys. We're going on. The winner of this best of 3 moves on to the round of 16 of the most competitive esports show in the world, the GSL. Whip, 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 whip. Gotta remember to download that song.
Oh.
You can laugh right there. I saw you trying to hold it back.
Make that sound again so I can use Shazam and figure out what song it is.
In the bottom right, we have... You use Shazam. I use SoundCloud, actually.
To find out with like the app on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that one is.
Oh, I guess that's probably just like another one. Over here in the upper left, the world champion, he is... SK Telecom team, PartinG. But I'm so hipster that most of the songs that I hear playing, I try to get them to find it. It's...
Well, it's because you're always just making the sound effects yourself with your mouth into the phone.
Yeah, man. That's how I do it, dude. When I try to find that dubstep, I'm like, wow, wow, wow.
I think it's like
no,
bring up something that's really bad.
There's some good stuff out there. Some good dubstep, out there, but there's a lot of bad dubstep out there.
There's quite a few. There's dubstep tasteless, which I really like, and then there's dub trip, which is just garbage.
You know what's funny is when you said dub trip, I was thinking about saying something dub trip. As I was thinking about like bad, what bad dub trip is.
What's bad?
What's dub
you
trip?
Step poorly, you trip.
It's dub fall down the stairs. How about that one? That's when you really misstepped.
Dub step into a wood chipper and lose your leg.
That's so dumb. Dub step, like dub step into a wood chipper and lose.
Yeah, man. That's the worst dub step right there. Okay.
All right.
So we actually have this is super interesting because PartinG is actually going for a gateway opening, and Losira hasn't scouted that he's not going Forge Expand, but he already got his gas. So this is the best possible situation for Losira ever.
Yeah.
If you can get quick speed against a gateway opening, because the counter, as soon as you see that they actually went gateway instead of Forge, bam, you throw down the gas, you get speed. I mean, PartinG has to execute perfectly. He's going to have to spend a ton of money on a wall to wall completely, because normally you don't have to wall completely right away because it takes him a while to get speed. But that speed is going to be up so fast. This is, if I'm PartinG here and I scout that he already has his gas, I'm like, oh! Just like that.
No, I know. You know, like some people can explain things through artistic dance. You can explain things through sounds out of your mouth. You're like, I was like, oh!
Well, that's normally how humans do it. Like right now, I'm explaining.
Oh, I meant without words. I just meant like groans and.
Okay. Well, like old language.
Basically, PartinG be like, oh, and then Losira's gonna be like, huh.
Yes.
Right.
Basically. All right. Well, we have a couple queens on the way. Speed is already on the way, and the drones are all off gas. He's going to have to spend on his whole wall. But map control is going to go to Losira, and it's going to be basically impossible to... I mean, normally when you do a gateway expand, you go out with like oftentimes a 5-gate timing attack. Just because you want to put pressure on as quickly as possible. Now, he does have a well-hidden probe that hasn't been found yet. So that could help him to execute something like
that probe's about to be found right now.
Oh my god, it's just barely dodging.
Yeah,
actually, watching on the mini-map.
Yep, we just missed it, but he just barely...
Okay, well, he sees that there's a third. That's what he wanted. But is he going to go into like a 5-gate or something like that? Or is he going to try to tech up from here? Because... I tell you, the gateway expands. Oh, with Forge. Okay, so he's going to tech up a bit. That Forge is so that you can start as +1 and actually get into a longer game rather than just trying to rely on a very quick attack. And I mean, this is the right choice just because he already has speed. Like, the odds of a quick attack working very low.
Okay. Forge is almost done. Another gas coming down here for the Zerg. And I think you highlighted this really well, Artosis. I mean, the Zerg guy has a lot of freedom right now.
Yeah.
With the ling speed, but really not needing that many lings. Being able to get the hatchery.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
so if the party moves out, that's fine. He makes lings. If he doesn't, that's fine. He makes drones. Either way, he's fine.
Exactly. And he's going to know because he's already eliminated all probes on the map. He has both watchtowers. I mean,
yeah.
This is a good situation for Losira.
Oh, this is bad.
Wow. Oh my God.
Party is off.
Rescan. Well, not scan, but scout. Well, that's what it is, man. It's still free scan.
It's like free mule. I'm like, no, that's
well,
that was a scan he could have spent on mules.
It's a really good situation.
He has a complete and total idea of what PartinG is capable of doing right now.
He sees sentries. He sees the +1 on the way. He sees a robo. So from the robo, it's like, well, there could be a warp prism coming. There could be some weird new immortal push coming. Probably not, though. Or he could be going for a third base. And those are really the only options here.
And as you can see now, walling this off, taking the third. You know, I will say if there's a person that could still engineer a comeback, it's PartinG. But I feel like PartinG's not normally a person that plays from a deficit and wins.
Well,
he's normally a guy that starts even and then gets ahead and then wins. So,
well,
we'll see.
He did this build with some sort of plan in mind.
Sure.
And I don't know exactly what that plan is, but he's going to show us, so that's fine. And
I don't know if he...
Oh, look at that. He's going to just barely get that one. Forces some force fields.
And there's more lings coming. You notice he's breaking up the lings into little groups here. I thought he was going to attack a little bit more there and try to do that again, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
You got to be careful. If there's like a Zealot in that group,
yeah,
he probably doesn't lose that sentry. In fact, if the force fields went a little bit better, he doesn't lose any sentries either. So you got to be careful on how you utilize your larva and your units. Now, we do have Colossus Tech on the way, the third base, as well as Twilight, whereas Losira is really focusing on his Zerglings, just now getting that layer. It's almost done, but really focusing on getting a lot of lings right
he's
now.
going to come in here again. He needs to back out, though.
Yeah,
that was not worth it.
See, this is the Zealots
really bad,
slaughtering here, and just absolutely not what Losira wanted to do.
Stalker's like, guys, help.
Oh, there's more lings still moving up. So Losira, I mean, he's still making lings, man. He's still trying to do some sort of.
I don't know if he should have done this.
Progression.
I think he could have actually just taken a fourth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it'd be really early, but the way this game started out, it's kind of weird.
I think I have to agree with you on that. Well, I guess he thought, well, there's so many different areas to run up with speedlings. There's no way you can cover them all. But so far, pretty good. And, well, this
force fields are working out surprisingly well.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job with them.
Now going over here trying to get some probes, which is not going to be particularly effective either. In fact, I think he's only gotten one so far.
You know, I felt like Losira had such a nice opening.
I think he's sort of thrown this away.
Yeah, and he just continues to throw ling after ling after ling.
When you consider that Protoss is losing virtually nothing.
Yeah, he's barely losing any probes. He's using force field energy, but I don't think he really cares about that much right now. You know, especially since he's going Colossus against a ling-only player at the moment. But Losira is going up into Infestor Tech. And I would say that now is probably the time for him to think about taking that fourth you were talking about earlier, Tasis.
Yeah, you know, when you look at the supply, too, it's 197 to 112. Excuse me, 112 or 206. Yeah, you consider how many lings were lost, and those could have been drones, or, you know, going towards his tech. He could have had a supply lead and a tech lead and an expansion lead. So that was not the best move there by Losira. It really was not.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is like an interesting follow-up that he's doing here. He's getting the Baneling Nest, he's going Infestors, and 3-base Hive. Now, let me check what PartinG's scouting is. He doesn't know about the Hive. In fact, he doesn't really have much scouting going on at all right now.
I don't even know if this is, like, worth it, what he's doing here.
Yeah. Like, he's, I think right now he's trying to keep PartinG in his base as much as possible. Now, I like that one quite a bit more. That's, he's trying to get something done. He's trying to keep PartinG back. But PartinG right now has an observer making its way across the map. He still doesn't know, though, about the hive timing, and that might catch him a little bit off guard.
All right, he's shown that he's got blink. Going to keep pushing down here now.
Ultra Scabbard.
All right.
Cool.
Neato. Now, that's going to make that large group of sentries, their force fields, pretty much useless.
Yeah.
It's going to void out any efficacy from the force fields.
Yeah, and don't forget how powerful, with your first hit, that speed banelings and ultras can be together. Because basically anything that's good against ultras, the speed banes are going to do well against. Because you're not going to have immortals in your army at this point.
That is true.
So this is a kind of cool situation.
Needs to blink on that like now.
Picking off some infested. Big
nice.
Moves. Still some okay chain fungals. And wait, did he get sentries? Just barely didn't get the sentries. Some of them very, very low.
Now notice this, he's not making the ultras right now. He's making only lings.
Yeah.
Which means the force fields are going to be affected. Here come the banelings now. But
Speed is almost done, but not quite. Oh god, he has to back up. He has to back up.
Sick.
Yeah, he backs up. And he needs to stay back because there's so many force fields still left over. Those chain fungals that got the sentries, he could have maybe taken this out, but
as he's blinking on top of the banelings.
Very well done.
Oh my god. This is so well done, GG.
Okay.
That was very impressive.
You know what? This was a very interesting game.
Yeah, it really was.
Losira spent too much on aggression, and that was like freestyle aggression that wasn't practiced probably very much because he probably practiced mostly against Forge expands there. So that's one thing I see with Zerg players quite often. When your opponent goes for a really quick third, as in PvZ, they probably know how to stop really quick aggression against it. So it's dangerous to sometimes do that. But, you know, he overcommitted with Ling's some. If he had, like, 2 ultras with that army somehow,
yeah, he could have won that fight.
He would have broken the force fields.
He would have stepped on it and would have won. That's it. Yeah. That's actually all there is to it. Not Lucira's game.
Interesting, though. I love the style he's trying to bring out. I feel like that game could have been epic, but it just wasn't.
Well, it was starting out really interesting, and then I think Losira made a series of poor choices because he was probably unfamiliar with the situation he was in.
Yeah. Well, you saw that when he was making pure lings and the army was coming, he actually messed up the infestors a little bit. He was trying to chain fungal the sentries and kill them. If he had done that, he still breaks the army. And if you break that army one time and you have 4 bases with hive, yeah, you're basically good to go.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, that's like some scary stuff that he can lose that many lings early on and still almost
wreck him.
Like, literally one more fungal and there's not nearly as many force
One
fields.
funny thing about StarCraft 2 is that sometimes it's almost easier to screw up a game and lose when you're way, way ahead in a weird situation than it is when you're in a standard game you're used to playing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it because, you know, if it's a standard game you're used to playing, you know how it plays out, you know the things to do to win and the things to do to lose. But when you go into these weird spots, then it becomes this kind of game where both players are improvising quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you have like a weird style like Bjorn, for instance, he's not improvising because he plays against everyone all the time with that style, whereas players that play against him are the ones improvising.
I love the blinking on top of the banelings. Basically, if you blink into the middle of a group of banelings, you're going to force so many banelings to detonate.
Yeah.
It's so smart.
That is so true. Banelings do not get a damage bonus against stalkers, so always a very useful thing to do if those banelings are on attack move or just sitting there, anything like that.
Our map is going to be Cloud Kingdom, chosen here by Losira. Interesting that he chose that map. I really did not see that coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's that is interesting, actually. You're right.
Let's get ready, guys. Remember, the winner goes on to the round of 16 here at GoldenTV.net. In the bottom left, in the red, playing brilliantly against his first opponent. Now here against the second, having a hard time. He is
Losira.
Go, Sean. And in the upper right, we've got our Protoss player. He is so solid, but today he seems to be a little bit off. We'll see if he plays a little bit better here. He is
telecom team.
I've never had a Goldschlager my whole life. Can't.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Can't have cinnamon.
I have some at my house.
I know.
If you want to try some.
We had that little house party a while ago. Somebody poured me a shot. I'm like, oh, what is this? Like, it's Goldschlager. And I'm like, whoa, that was close.
I've been trying to kill you for a long time,
I know.
Baseless. You're just too
I just
smart.
won't die. I'm too smart, Artosis.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
The whole picking of this map by Losira, I mean, tell me what you think, man. This feels weird.
I don't know. I don't normally think of Zerg's picking this map against Protoss.
No, right? I mean, this is really bizarre for him to choose this map against PartinG. I feel like there's other maps that can be chosen. He has to have some sort of special strategy, or maybe, I mean, for his style, he might just be comfortable on this map. You know, this is definitely a map that we've seen other Zergs favor an Ultralisk Baneling Hive tech choice. For instance, Symbol in a very memorable game used that to great effect here. So maybe it's just with the architecture of the map, he feels more comfortable, because overall Protoss is pretty much like this map against Zerg. It's pretty comfortable to take third, to move around.
If I was in a GSL Codex and I had to pick a map that I was going to play on, I'd pick this one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, would you do the same?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a comfortable map for Protoss overall. So, well, anyways, we'll see exactly what's going to go on with this, and we'll see what strategy PartinG wants to do here, because PartinG could go for like an immortal push. You know, this is definitely a map where you can immortal push.
Yeah, this is, and it was, speaking of immortal pushes, I mean, this is a map that, PartinG with his immortal pushes probably would perform pretty well on. So,
yeah.
G Willikers, Artosis.
G Willikers, Stasis.
Yeah. We'll see, though. Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm PartinG, I just do the immortal sentry push.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, let's go.
I don't know.
I would.
You know, Losira is such a Ling-heavy guy. I'd be a little bit nervous, actually, on getting there. Because, you know, you have to be careful not to use up all your force fields.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to see PartinG go for a longer game here. But I think the reason that I'm really wanting to see the longer game is to see what Losira's plan is on this map against Protoss, that he chose it as his map, as opposed to something bigger.
And the weird thing is when you choose a map like this, I mean, I would not be surprised if PartinG's in the same boat as us, where he's like, really? You put Cloud Kingdom? You have to wonder, is he going to do some kind of weird cheese? Or some weird gimmick strat, you know?
You know, if he were to do some sort of cheesy or gimmicky, basically something non-standard, I don't think it would be at the front wall. I think it would be something more like Banelings at the third.
Swarm or something? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think more in line with, like, smashing the third as PartinG moves out or something like that.
All right, robotics facility.
Well,
Looks
so
like
far
it's going towards that push.
I think it is the immortal push.
Artosis is on my Twitter account. I made a bet this season.
Yes.
Who will be the first person to slip up and swear?
Between you and I?
Between you and I. Or there was the option that neither of us will slip up and swear.
One of us will slip up.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. It happens at least once every season. Not that it matters. It's internet TV. They don't have a ratings board, but...
No. Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God they don't control what we can say, Artosis. But, you bet against me? You think it's going to be me? Because I bet you.
Yeah,
I think you historically actually curse more than me on air, though.
I think I probably do.
Even though we actually both have cursed like sailors when we're not on camera. But
yeah.
4 hours of unscripted TV, you know, you're going to...
It happens.
Someone's going to drop the ball.
Sometimes I just get excited and do it. By the way, this is the immortal push.
Yeah.
But it still looks like the immortal push. The one weird thing is he hasn't made the extra gates, which I just realized, because he had his probes sitting there to make them, then he didn't. How many probes do you have? 44. I mean, the build still looks like the immortal push. He started the +1 after the robo.
Little things like
Here's
this,
another immortal. I mean, all the timings are right for the immortal push except for the gateways.
Little things like getting that Overlord 2 actually start to pan out pretty heavily.
Yeah.
When you're doing this build.
Well, yeah, this has to be the immortal push.
Yeah.
There you go. He's had enough gates at this point. It's the immortal push. Just a slightly different gateway timing than PartinG normally does.
Yep.
But this is, I mean, he's the best at this build in the world.
Notice the Immortals are all in the back.
Yeah.
Just because you want the Zerg to not be 100% sure that this is coming, even though it's PartinG, he's so famous for doing this. I know he walls off this entrance up the top of the ramp so that way if he gets counterattacked or it becomes a base trade, at least the Zerg can't get to where his workers are.
Yeah, yeah.
At least in the main, so he can keep warping in during the push.
You know what? I think Losira has a good chance of holding this. He stopped at 55 drones.
Okay.
Before PartinG has moved out, like seconds before he's moved out, he started the infestation pit, and he's made about a quadrillion Zerglings. He's setting himself up to hold this.
Let's see if he does it. I mean, it's going to boil down to these force fields from the sentries.
Now watch this. We have Lings all over. Oh, wow. He hasn't actually brought them in yet? I thought for sure he was. Okay, here we go. From both sides. Oh, beautifully done, Losira. Oh, my God. Okay. Losira, you good. You so good. Look at this. So many sentries going down. He's had to use so many force fields.
Yeah, think about it. Those are the force fields that were not used. Will not be used for the expansion to push across the rest of the units.
And not just that. Look at the amount of time that he's purchased. He's going to have infestors up before he's dead. And when you get infestors up, and look at this, he's sacking the third, he's making the spines, he's going to have infestors.
This is
actually
really good.
I think he's still going to hold this. Yes, he has less supply than PartinG. It sounds weird to say I think he's going to hold this, but PartinG's chance here is really utilizing that warp prism and lifting into the main because the spines are going to prevent him from pushing through the front with infestors behind them. This is crazy, man. Great play by Losira so far.
All right. Very nice. Very clear to PartinG what's going on now. So let's see how he handles this.
And there's a lot of those better not be infestors in those eggs, tasteless.
Well, there's 9 making, so.
No, they were all Lings at the third base. That's good for him.
Oh, at the third base. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's what I meant. All right, here we go.
Behind.
Oh, the infestors just now popping out. Oh my God, he canceled Pat. No, wait, no, he didn't.
Oh, that was so good, man.
Well, PartinG is good, man. Holy crap. Well, we have a lot of Zerglings coming in, but I don't know if he actually has enough production at this point. It looks like PartinG just has too many units. GG. Wow. Well, you know what? Losira did some great moves there.
This is the story.
Almost did it.
Of a guy named PartinG. The greatest force field ever in the world.
It's completely true. He showed it right there. Well, PartinG gets out in first place, man.
Wow, Losira looks very frustrated with that loss. Well, you know, he actually set up so well for it, but the infestors weren't timed out quite right.
Yeah.
The first part of him trying to hold it off was really good. The second part, I mean, you know, he's just so good with those force fields.
It's true. The first hit with Lings did a lot. It got rid of so many force fields. Thing is, he went into so many Zalts afterwards that none of the Ling attacks after that did well enough. If he had slowed him down just a little bit more, then the infestor's already out when he gets to the spines, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, you have the fungals and everything, even infestors, everything is different.
It looked one-sided, kind of, if you just stare at it, like colors moving around on a screen, but Losira was close to holding that. He was.
We're going to take a quick little break when we go on, or when we get back, we're going to go on to the losers match here in today's